Start your day with Dr. A. Start your day. You're gonna start it. You're gonna start it. Start your day with Dr. A. Start your day. You're gonna start it.
Good morning and welcome to Start Your Day with Dr. A 5-minute inspirational to get your day off to an amazing start and to keep you growing. And today we're going to talk about our image, and we're going to talk about the X Factor, not the TV show that grosses you out with all the weird things that they have to do, but the fact that we have an X Factor in our lives. Colossians 1:27 says, "For God wanted them to know the riches and glory of Christ are for you Gentiles too." That's us. "And this is the secret. Christ lives in you. This gives you the assurance of sharing his glory." He's our X factor. Here's what the definition of an X factor is. It's a variable in a given situation that could have the most significant impact on the outcome. I love that. Let's read to you again. An X factor is a variable in any given situation that could have the most significant impact on the outcome of that situation. Listen, you and I possess the X factor. It's the variable in the equation. The variable is that Christ is in us. For when Christ is present, he alone has the most significant impact on any situation we could possibly face. And listen, if you've received Christ, allow him to lead, then anything and everything is possible through God. So, let's just declare this up front. No matter what we're facing, a failing business, a struggling marriage, a debilitating health problem, low self-esteem, a financial crisis, speak life and hope into the situation with your own mouth. And more importantly, into your own self, speak that life by stating what is simply true of your identity and mind. Can you say this? Say, "I have the X factor." Go ahead and repeat that. I have the X factor. Check this out. Thomas Watson, who was the chairman of IBM in 1943, he said that there was a world market for maybe 5 computers. In 1977, Ken Olsen, the founder of Digital Equipment, said this. He says, "There's no reason anyone would want a computer in their home." That sounds crazy to us today, given the proliferation of personal computers in every home and everywhere you go. And it's comments like these, however, that help us to see how foolish we are to think that we can really know the potential of anything or to predict with absolute certainty any situation. There's always an X factor which could change the situation at any moment. And you know what? Since we possess that X factor, we are always in the expectation that God can do the impossible. Nothing is out of reach when God is involved. And here's another way to state that X factor from the Bible. Here's what Paul says. He says, "What shall we say to such wonderful things? If God is for us, who can be against us?" Paul says, what shall we say? Well, listen, what shall we say? That's always the question. What do you say? What do you believe? Because Christ is in us and our identity rests in him, we can and should think and speak positively all the time and with expectation of the promises of God. Listen, after all, we possess that X factor, the one variable that could and will have the most significant impact on a situation. Hey, if you wrestle with pessimistic thinking, then do as one writer suggested. He said this. He said, "You don't have to think positive thoughts. Just remove all the negative thoughts, and whatever left is fine." Hey, that's our call to action. That's some great advice for both our thoughts and words. So here's our call to action today. I want you to remember this out today. Here's your call to action. I want you to say to yourself, "I have the X factor." When you face a situation today that you think is out of your control, say, "I have the X factor." When you're facing something that's bigger than you, say, "I have the X factor." All right, that's going to close it for today. I'm going to see you tomorrow on Start Your Day with Dr. A.